Okay, everybody, welcome. As I mentioned, we've really been focused the past few weeks on two-man game and a matchup between Lyle Thompson and Matt Landis. And this we decided to focus on a specific offense, the pairs offense, which some actually consider it an open set, and we're just going to delve into it. And I'm going to kind of break it down bit by bit. And as you can see, um, just looking at the field right now, on the left side of the field, number 10 and number 19 are lefties on the left side of the field. And on the right side of the field, two righties, and then two attackmen, one lefty down low and one righty. And what's interesting about this set that Duke chose in 2014 is that it really highlights their strengths, their midfield, their explosiveness, their playmaking ability, and it hides their weaknesses. As you can see, those two guys at goal line extended, number 16 and 9, are really good off-ball players, really slick, good sticks and good finishers, just not terrific dodgers, not guys that can really unsettle a defense. And so as you can see, they really just put those guys real tight to the goal, right? Real tight to the crease and on goal line extended. And by doing that, they are a tremendous threat, and it forces their defenders to stay tight to them and therefore frees up all that space up top. And, look at the paint in the middle of the field. The crease area is pretty vacant. And that's really what they're trying to do is get to the middle of the field, get, looking at a 6-foot wide goal and, force adjacent slides. Another quote that came to mind when I was thinking about this is Shaka Smart, the Texas basketball coach, said, force a team to play you different than they, a team that is different than they practice every day. So forcing a team to see something that they don't see in practice every day. And Notre Dame, a crease sliding defense, they thought that they could really, take them out of sorts, which they did in a way. So let's delve right in. You just see one clip. This is the end of the first quarter, and you can kind of get a feel for, the two-man action in the top corner and the backside exchange, and stepping in, looking at a big goal for a shot. So again, we're going to take it step by step. Let's first focus on the attack spacing. We talked about those guys down low being threats at the posts. And as the ball's on one side of the field and starting to come down, that near side guy wants to allow room. So he's going to start to fade a little bit. And this backside guy is going to creep up, looking to cut and, allow his teammate, his pair, that is, to push backside. Now the ball's top center. Those guys creep back to the post, right? Ball moves to the left side of the field. Near side guy fades. Backside guy is starting to creep up. And the reason is if this guy shows real hard and ends up sliding adjacent, and this guy has to come over as the 2, a lot of times this guy can creep into space right here, and maybe with the backside exchange, this guy's out to lunch and not down as the 2. Backup responsibility is always attack. We talked about fading adjacent. This guy should be fading away from the dodger. He's not a threat right here. Look at Eric Law. He probably scored a really high percentage of his goals doing this, where he forces his man to be hot and then sneaks back post. So by just staying at look where he is right now, this allows this defender to get a free show and be able to recover to him. Whereas if he could have snuck back and just planted himself on the back post, this guy cutting, forcing his defender to respect him. So Miles Jones, rolls back, and same thing right here. We got to fade adjacent. We can't be outside the ball middies. So if we roll back and Miles Jones is looking to push this corner right here in an incredibly dangerous spot on the field, this defender can step into space, get a free double, or at the very least a free show, and be able to recover back to his man because he's not a threat. But if he starts to fade and cut through, then, his man has to respect him a little bit more. Let me just back that up so you can see the fake. A lot of times when you want to get a guy out of your face, see how 43 bit for that fake. Good save by the goalie. Following your slide. Right here, Notre Dame, as Coach Jep will talk about, they've been really getting one of these backside guys to come in as the hot guy so they didn't have to leave the posts and give up any layups. But as you can see, this is pretty open. This guy's not in position to go. So we've got to be ready to follow our slide. 16 is just a little too far below GLE to be a threat and make this guy pay. Let's talk about the middies now. Let's talk about on-ball options in your pairs. So if you just look at the field, again, these two guys are a pair, these two guys are a pair. We'll talk about what the guys on the backside are doing. First, just slipping into space. If a guy wants to hedge real hard, he can fake like he's going to pick and just slip. Obviously, setting picks. We've talked about that. A little pass down, pick down. It's kind of like a little elevator pick right here. He comes straight down. This guy gets underneath him, and then he just pops right back up. Really clever. Camouflage pick, something we talked about a couple weeks ago with the two-man. He's just going to, this defender's going to hear pick right, pick right, pick right. He's just going to sneak around the other side of them and just cause the D some confusion there. Or maybe you just don't use the pick. This guy's coming down to set it, and, this guy's, for whatever reason, taking away top side a little too hard, and underneath, guy gets tripled. It's a shame. Notre Dame was playing real good D up to that point. Shallow cutting. Just giving this guy the alley, okay? Just shallow cutting. Maybe this could be considered a C cut. We talked about that too, and on subtle play. You want to C cut near post, force this D guy to absorb you on the backside. And then, of course, filling. If you're the crease guy, this is your pair. This guy's going to get top side. Or maybe he gets underneath and you fill just opposite of him. You're the outlet behind the ball. And look at the attackman show and being a threat. Let's talk about the backside now. So you can see the exchange. And the reason they want to exchange is really just to try to get these two defenders on the backside to move north-south. Even if they're not getting to that near pipe, that exchange, a lot of defenses are aware of matchups. Hey, Miles Jones, we want the pull on him. So if he's going this way and this guy's going that way, maybe they're going north-south. And it just, look at all this space right here. And luckily this guy subscribes to his role rather than his man. Starting to come over as the hot guy. Another exchange. And look at the benefit. If this guy wants to get top side, this guy's getting out of his way, taking his man with him. And if there's room to cut, by all means. Again, the whole reason with this pairs is that it's freeing up all this space in the paint. I think in this day and age, cutting's a bit of a lost art. And this set certainly fosters that cutting. We showed you that seal earlier. Okay, and you can see, I'm going to show this in 3 different ways, but really smart, because this guy, again, one of the top guys in the backside is going to be the hot guy, which leaves 1 to cover 2. One guy seals, and as you can see, pretty nice opportunity here for this guy to step in. Let's watch this again. This fake by Miles Jones, he could be faking to shoot it. He could be faking to feed it to 16 right here. But really the benefit of it is that he's freezing this defender. Now, this guy kind of allows himself to get sealed. It's kind of a tough situation because you want to be goal side of your man, but at the same time, he's got to be able to shed this seal and get through to this man so that they don't have to wheel into it. But regardless, this is going to be this guy's slide. And, watch his feet. He actually steps towards his man rather than towards the ball. If Miles Jones hadn't have thrown that fake, maybe he would have gotten to number 10's hands before he shot it. In the midst of chaos, there's also opportunity. Now, a lot of times when we create this, this set, we want to subscribe to our pairs. You two are on the left side, you two are on the right side. There's going to be times when, we get a little disoriented and good things can happen. You see the lefty and the lefty just so you can keep track. These guys are playing 2-man, backside, a little bit lazy. But once there's a sweep, as you just saw, the pairs can change. So now we have Jordan Wolf and Jemer Class, righty lefty on one side, and Christian Walsh and Miles Jones, lefty and righty on the other side, which is fine. They're all offensive players, very capable. But also, in the midst of chaos, sometimes you just got to reset. And you can see Christian Walsh, he's the fifth-year senior right here with a sophomore, and I think a junior. So he's the least athletic of the group, but the smartest, I would say, at this point in their careers. And he just says, let's just reset. Jordan Wolf comes back over, sets a pick, and they're right back into it. A little exchange on the backside. We'll just let this one play for a little bit. Doesn't use the pick, draws three, throws back, shooting at a 6-foot wide goal. One more clip, and then I'll let Coach Jep talk D. Penetrate and kick, kind of a basketball term. When you're sweeping, notice the backside exchange, and then Miles Jones getting a good head of steam. That's why this kind of weave, this sweeping is so conducive to this set, because there's nobody in the paint right here. That's really solid defense. Look how he just took away top side with his left fist right here. Matt Landis, who we focused on a couple weeks ago. And then here's some chaos, and you can see the field, three guys on one side, not really a pairs offense, but they're playing lacrosse. Just a really slick play right here. And again, when there's chaos on O, there's chaos on D. Notre Dame was really set on one of the backside guys coming in as the hot man. As you can see right here, 22 is probably hot. They've the whole game, they haven't been going adjacent with this low guy because, 48 would have to come over, and then 16 maybe is wide open in front of the goal. But 22's hot. He doesn't realize it. And 4 is just kind of showing and not really committing to going right there. And Duke makes him pay. Okay. So that's it for the O for right now, and we can always come back later and take a peek. But if there's any questions right now, feel free to fire them away. Otherwise, you can just wait until the end. All right, Coach Jep.
Nice. That was awesome. And as I get set up here, I think you'll notice on that offensive reel that Coach Webb just shared, a lot of the goals were scored off one-on-one or initiated by one-on-ones where the offensive player wasn't really touched, right? There was no jam. As we talked about in our first session, getting that jam and then staying sticky not only puts pressure on the ball carrier, but it buys time for the off-ball defenseman to get into a 2-slide or 3-slide position, help defense position. But when thinking about Pairs offense,